hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to Reactions, Rants, and Rabbit Holes. I am Rollen Green, and this is what I'm going to do. I don't know if it's appropriate or not. I don't even know if it's a song, if it's a movie, if it's because I've had a lot of stuff on my plate. Haven't been following along. So, down in the description is a link to the original website, all his products, Ren. Give love where love is due. First and foremost, that's the best I can do. I send it that way. Then I don't feel bad being here. I'm going to just watch it to start. I'm going to try not to even comment. That's damn hard for me. And I don't know if we're going to start with that cut or start with a just a second take. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it, and I got to go to work. So technically, I did this yesterday or the day before, but I want to put some effort into it. I don't want to just knock it out because it's time. And I went long on other product. Duh. It's as close to a Freudian slip as I can make, because in the end, I'm supposed to think about it that way, but I don't. I want to see what I get from it and then make the most of it. So, Sick Boy, Episode 1, The Flame of Prometheus.
Have you ever heard the story of Prometheus? Let me start somewhere near the end. After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs. Those who were strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms. First, they would be stripped of all dignity afforded to a human. Then, their bodies would be decontaminated and purged of the stench from the surface. In order to create an effective cog, you must first bleed out of all autonomy and free will. He or she must stop being human and become a limb. Those who were deemed too sick for work were discarded. To keep them alive would only further drain the earth of vital resources. It was a kindness to let them die. For years, this is how the program would run. But, like many systems that came before it, it was at the mercy of chaos theory. Chaos theory is often misunderstood. It is an oxymoron, a determined element of chaos, one that can send a whole system spiraling into mayhem. There was a prophecy. It told of a genetic anomaly, a human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future. For decades, the humans searched, setting up a global infrastructure of testing facilities in vain. With time, the candle of hope burnt down to a blackened wick. Whispers of the prophecy could still be caught traveling on the wind between members of the sick. Rivaling factions saw it as nothing but a dying superstition. Others clung to it like an amulet of hope. The rich and the elite, of course, used it as a method of control. Desperation is a powerful drug. Above fear, above loyalty to the party, the Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage. If you strip man of his basic needs, with enough time, he becomes a beast. Without shame and without morality. Primal. How ironic that the creations and brilliance of man should reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time, everything returns to source. While it was still part of protocol to test every subject for immunity to the virus, the outcome was predictable. There was no suspense. Any Any hope that testing would bear fruit died years ago. That is until we introduce chaos theory.
I wish I would have paused. I gotta say that I'm just my one for this one is I automatically at the beginning I thought the chaos theory represented rebellion, and within a control system the problem is who's running the control system. How soon do you build rebellion against it? That's just one facet of what I'm thinking. We're getting back to it. It's very cool, but I got ooh. Go. Very good. High quality. Ooh. The Flame of Prometheus, Sick Boy, Episode 1. I'm going to go through it again. All right, we're taking a second shot at Episode 1, The Flame of Prometheus. And I had already started. And I needed to grab a smoke, and I realized I want a straight playthrough. So let's go. But it's going to... Trigger warnings up front. The first one, I just kind of listened. This one, I'm going to go hard. I like filmmaking. I think Rent is awesome. But this is what I think.
Have you ever heard the story of Prometheus? Let me start somewhere near the end.
Now, right off the get-go, I love that line. That start at the end. You were granted fire. Now you're enslaved. It's just a matter of how long the timeline is. Interesting. I am a fan of the dystopian, sci-fi and fiction, or the dystopian reality outside my window, but I digress.
After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs.
Now, I completely knowing enough about the artist and then going through the pandemic, get this storyline narrative. I'm a Orwellian, not purist, but I'm filtering it through thought crime. Just a heads up. Hey, pick your abnormality. What do you got that the normie, complacent, compliant people don't? It's illness? Oh, it's free thinking? Into the pit. Into the pit. But not a cool pit like that. A shitty, fucking mining pit.
After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs. Those who were strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms.
Now, subterranean farms, old Rollen has ranted about artisan cobalt mining. So I would just like to been there, done that. Not a stretch.
Strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms. First, they would be stripped of all dignity afforded to a...
This is where I needed that smoke. This is how far I got, 44 seconds. Because just in case you didn't know, I have been a ward of the state and a dehumanized individual. Yeah, would you like to mute for a second? Okay, why they're muted? To get a visit in prison, you let them look up inside you if you get my drift. Okay, we're done. That horrible dehumanizing experience, um, I relate to a little more than you could expect. So as I watch this, I'm like, oh, normies are not gonna like Prison Planet. It's tough. Criminals weather that storm, then have hierarchy, assassinations, and all kinds of crazy shit. Uh, uh, you know, crying in the shower with your nude undies on. I'm playing. I understand the idea. That's why I'm trying to nail it home. Once you've gone through a dehumanizing experience, it's a whole different deal. Let's just put it as real touchy in the restroom now, because I did my fair share of you can look at my junk. Now I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't need that ever again. Because it takes away things that whatever's private to you, trust me, they'll take away from you.
Human, then their bodies would be decontaminated and purged of the stench from the surface.
Oh yeah, that's a stench.
In order to create an effective cog, you must first bleed out of all autonomy and free will.
Well, yeah, or stick a phone in their hand. I'm just saying, stick a phone in their hand works real good too.
Cog, you must first bleed out of all autonomy and free will. He or she must stop being human and become a limb. Those who were deemed too sick for work were discarded. To keep them alive would only further drain the earth of vital resources. It was a kindness to let them die.
Kindness. Soylent Green is people. You gotta. There's an in-between option there.
Only further drain the earth of vital resources.
I do like the cow thing. Fucking No Country for Old Men type deal there. That's sweet. Nice. Deal.
Work were discarded. To keep.
I don't mean nice like it's good. I'm talking about from the filmmaker's point of view. It's a good one. Because it brings up memories to someone like me of that moment out on the highway and the first time you see that. And if you can do that to a certain viewer, you're doing okay. I'm just saying. If it's all fresh and new to you, then the first take of this, you should stop now and go back to the beginning. There's your, we just watched. But I have, from the Omega Man, Soylent Green, all the way up to, you name it, whatever came out in the last decade. I take V for Vendetta, and you want to know is a really good one is what's that? With the gun kata, and it's your thought crime Orwellian. Take your emotion suppression pill. That fucking thing is fire.
Bleed out of all autonomy and free will.
Hey, you really want to see the best of the best? What is that? Children of Men? Especially that fucking attack scene in the car. Now, we're talking about film right now. I think this is good, too. But dystopian films is it's a tried and true genre we're fucking with here.
He or she must stop being human and become a limb. Those who were deemed too sick for work were discarded. To keep them alive would only further drain the earth of vital resources. It was a kindness to let them die. For years, this is how the program would run. But, like many systems that came before it, it was at the mercy of chaos theory.
Now, I wanted to pause the first time through, because I'm like, ow. Oh, well, this is the subplot of the Matrix 2 and 3. That whole control breeds rebellion. Rebellion breeds hope. hope creates change. Change re-enslaves everyone to start the cycle over, because it turns out when your only purpose you have left in your dystopian world is to enslave each other, hey, that's what you got. I like that chaos theory. That's awesome.
Like many systems that came before it, it was at the mercy of chaos theory. Chaos theory is often misunderstood. It is an oxymoron, a determined element of chaos, one that can send a whole system spiraling into mayhem. There was a prophecy. It told of a genetic anomaly, a human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future. For decades, the humans searched.
And then right here, I was like, well, I didn't play it, but my honey had to make that moral choice in the first Last of Us. I think she said, screw humanity, saved a girl just to be shafted in game 2. I don't think she played game 2. Point is, Neo, the One, the Chosen, staple of the hero's quest, Chosen, heroin. Don't do heroin. Just be whatever gendered hero you could be. See, it's all complicated. I good. Let's go. I want to see what she's gonna. I hope she can free everyone. It's like the Hunger Games, which I didn't care for all that much, but when you get towards the end, my jokes and rants and raves will make a little more sense. Turns out, oh wait, we weren't the good guys. Wait, we're the baddies. No, it's all the psychopaths who desire power that are the baddies. We always get a chosen one, but can the chosen one be corrupted? Does the new leadership the chosen one, right? Yeah, no, they seem like a princess and a prince now. Wait till they get gold scepters and throne rooms, and you never know. Just saying, it gets complicated. Branding.
There was a prophecy. It told of a genetic anomaly, a human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future. For decades, the humans searched, setting up a global infrastructure of testing facilities in vain. With time, the candle of hope burned down to a blackened wick. Whispers of the prophecy could still be caught traveling on the wind between members of the sick. Rivaling factions.
Now, right here, I was just like, I want to pause. I so want to stop. Because I saw their, was it Neopets? Or there was this great designer early on who made some really crazy stuff. And engineered creatures in the, here's, right? But then it's like, what's that? The cloning. Isn't there a few of the cloning movies where they snatch you up and clone you? The Island. But here you don't know because you're in your vacuum sealed sack. And then there's that new campaign that shows all the pods, and it shows us the unfortunate citizens who somehow think our children should be gestured in pods. Is that the right word? Gestation. Fucking grown in a pod. It's like I watched The Matrix, but some of that enslavement in the power plant seems cool to me. Now, I always hope it's like artists trying to indict the most dystopian of ideas. But then you read down in the comments and you're like, holy crap, there's some people that are just psycho. They're like ready for Gattaca. And then what's the point of that one? Are you going to go breed in the back of a Plymouth anyways? And you're going to take your genetic flaws and you're going to find a way to succeed with the superior inhabitants of your, Mega City 1. The line. This is how they're breeding them in the line for sure. That fucking whatever the Walmart heirs building down in Arizona. Yeah, they got this idea down.
Between members of the sick. Rivaling factions saw it as nothing but a dying superstition. Others clung to it like an amulet of hope. The rich and the elite, of course, used it as a method of control.
Oh, stay! Now, this is a second viewing, so I'm pretty sure I love the imagery here. But then I was like, did you ever see the golden light suitcase in Pulp Fiction? That's a good idea. But now we'll say the hoods and the crowns and thorns, that whole thing is creepy, so it all works. I liked it, but I'm like, that's cool. It works. It's crazy. And then that, iconic.
Desperation is a powerful drug. Above fear, above loyalty to the party, the Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage.
Now, from this production's point of view, I would say that suitcase was full of desperation. The timing's just too appropriate. I don't know. I don't know if it was someone's soul. I don't know. I never figured out what was in the one in Pulp Fiction. That's what makes it so iconic. This one I'm going with desperation.
Desperation is a powerful drug. Above fear, above loyalty to the party, the Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage.
Well, sure, they use that to, the Order followers are simple enough that they'll believe the people who won't be misled, but use all their information to mislead others. But then the first thing you need is familiars to help you enforce your rules, because those two freaks around the suitcase ain't enough to get it done. And you fucking idiots to follow along. That's the heartbreaking part with these stories.
The Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage.
Fantastic art direction. I think it looks great. I was super looking forward to number 2. Even though it's, it's standard, fits right in with your dystopian control features. Just, yeah. Let's work on that serum. Find the chosen one.
If you strip man of his basic needs with enough time, he becomes a beast. Without shame and without morality. Primal. How ironic that the creations and brilliance of man should reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time.
I don't know. I hope we don't get to that spot. Because as I was saying at the beginning, I filter this through a prison planet. Thought crime within 15-minute cities in a total lockdown. I can envision that happening. And the difference is from, let's say, Escape from New York. How am I doing on my list of dystopian films? Anybody been keeping up? There's a good list here. I would say this is a worthy, and there's a list to be had for you. I don't do top 10 lists, but I think we're nailing them all. Back to Escaping from New York. Snake Plissken, honestly, a hero archetype, if ever we've had one, but the anti-hero as well. What we find is there's always structure. I can speak personally for being in the joint for years. Or from every dystopian tale, there's going to be a structure system. Morality, whether it's good, bad, or horrible, is going to exist. And that it doesn't happen as much as you think. That gets weeded out, right? A little more than you think. You're not all allowed to, can it all explode into a mob? Yeah. But it's not usually as feral as you think. It's a lot more like that chaos theory opinion I had, where you got the subplot of Matrix 2 and 3. And you need all of it to perpetuate the control system in the Hegelian dialect because, one side's bullshit can only last so long.
How ironic that the creations and brilliance of man should reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time, everything returns to source. While it was still part of protocol to test...
I love that part of this story, so I'm, along with pulling for the heroine, hero, whatever, I fucking hate your name. I just want to be able to talk and not worry, but I'm pulling for the fucking hero because I'm looking at it as the hero's quest, continuing in episode 2 and so on. I'm hoping she frees everybody, right? No, I lost my point because you fucking, not you personally, just the hate that could exist because I don't like the way people say shit. Tough shit. Go sit in a safe room or something. I'd rather just talk about this chick kicking some ass. Doesn't mean I want to stick my dick in her. I just want to fucking talk like I talked my whole life.
Time, everything returns to source.
Oh, yeah, that's a returns to source idea. And now, of course, I think the source being that pile of sludge in, like, water world. Man, we have hit a lot of them. There is a lot of dystopian films out there. And crazy. And I still can't remember the name with Christian Bale. I mean, dude from Lord of the Rings was in that one. Why can't I think of that? Damn, that's a good one too. That shit's a winner, and it goes under the radar. We gotta finish this.
Reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time, everything returns to source.
I guess to finish up all that crazy rant, I'm not sure. I go with escape from every dystopian hellhole prison. Block. Oh, what's that fucking super cool French one with the parkour and the fucking free running and the hot sister. She was smoking hot. And the bad guy turns her out and gets her strung out. And dude, he's got to work together with the cop. The bad guy, the whole fucking District B, 16, 18, 13. Fudgesicles, that's a good one.
His primal state. I guess with time.
They had our order. And some people were trying to live their lives even within their hellhole prisons.
Everything returns to source. While it was still part of protocol to test every subject for immunity to the virus, the outcome was predictable. There was no suspense. Any hope that testing would bear fruit died years ago. That is until we introduce chaos theory.
See, I'm wanting what's next. That's right. So I'm very interested. I'm pulling for her to be the one, or any of the chosen. I mean, she could be the Trakian chick on heavy metal. I'm cool. I think that's how you said it. Man, I think I covered them all. Or as much of you that I've seen that I can remember during the making of this. Sick Boy episode 1, The Flames of Prometheus, rolling into, how many places we've covered the genre. And this is I am not measuring it as better, worse, this, that, or the other. I am adding it to the list of all those. And we'll wait around for number 2. And next time we'll just do it in one take. But I knew as soon as I saw it, I knew it. I was like, oh, it's a free for all. I love this genre. Let's play. And I got nothing but respect for all the creators of the project. Let's go. I can't wait for round 2.